Welcome to High Infidelity, the best cheating videos on YouTube. If you enjoy this content, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now let's get into the video.
My 35 male girlfriend, 21 female, uncomfortable with my wife's ashes. I married my high school sweetheart when I was 25 years old. Her death occurred 5 years later as a result of a car accident. Because she and I enjoyed traveling, I had her ashes transformed into a diamond so that she might join me on my adventures. While traveling, I keep her ashes, as well as both of our wedding rings, on a necklace that I can slip into my pocket. It helps me feel more connected to her. Even though I'll always cherish and mourn her, I'm certain that she'd want me to be happy and find love in the future. I've been seeing a new girl for about a year now, and we're still together. I dated for a few years after my wife passed away, but I never felt really in love until I met this new lady who changed everything. M is fantastic, and she has been really kind and sensitive to me in the wake of my wife's death. I have made her aware of the necklace, and she has never shown unhappiness with it despite the fact that she is completely ignorant that the stone includes my wife's ashes. My previous habit was to hang the chain from my bedpost, but I thought that doing so would be disrespectful to them, so it is now carefully stowed in a drawer. When I travel, I still carry it with me as a backup. M and I have explored the possibility of cohabiting when her lease ends in 2 months' time. This gives me great pleasure. Her company is something I want to spend the rest of my life with. As she was packing her belongings, I was preparing for a weekend getaway to the East Coast on my own. While I was packaging the chain, M inquired as to what the second ring was. It wasn't my ex or husband's, my wedding rings. When I informed her that I had turned her ex-ash's husband's into a stone, she freaked out. The fact that I'd lied to her for a year and told her what I'd done was terrifying and odd, made me feel sick to my stomach. In an ultimatum, she demanded that I remove the stone. I could keep our rings on the chain but not the ashes, or she would no longer live with me. I inquired as to whether I might retain the stone in a drawer, but she insisted that it had to go. She has refused to spend another night in our house with my wife and has said that she or I must go. Please provide a hand. I'm completely at a loss on what to do. It is important to me that I do not lose touch with this girl, but I also do not want to lose respect for the woman I used to be in love with. I am unable to provide it to her parents since my ex-husband was not close to her parents. I can't just throw it away like that. I'm completely at a loss for words. My weekend vacation has been postponed till further notice. All I want is for things to work out with them. That is all I want. It is my constant mantra that creating this stone was a complete and total mental lapse. M cautioned me that no female would ever be comfortable with it, and that if I kept the stone, I would live a lonely, terrible life. I decided to keep the stone, but M warned me that no female would ever be comfortable with it. Would this be a deal breaker for you, whether you are a woman or a man? Is this some kind of joke? Update: this went completely off the rails. The response to my story has been overwhelming. I was only anticipating 1 or 2 comments, but the number of responses has beyond my expectations. I took the time this morning to go over everyone's responses, and I'm optimistic that M will accept a safety deposit box or the option of keeping it at my mother's place of residence. It was her first experience with the death of someone she cared about, and I feel the possibility of my wife's remains being in my house was frightening to her. She'll be coming over tonight to talk about it, and I'll do my best to keep you all informed as soon as I can. Thank you very much for all of your help, and for telling me that what I did with my wife's remains wasn't that strange. I really appreciate it. Story 2. Caught cheating. Then admitted to more. So this happened a while ago, yet it still bothers and puzzles me to this day. Back in high school, I dated a girl named Jamie. I was over heels in love with this girl, but she seemed completely out of my league. She came from a family that didn't like the fact that I was black. Because I was young and foolish, I disregarded it and never allowed it upset me. Anyway, her elder sister, who disliked me as well, was throwing a birthday party at her home while her parents were away. I asked Jamie if I might attend and even got some wine for the birthday girl as a token of my appreciation. Jamie informed me that her sister did not want me to go, which I reluctantly accepted and urged her to have a good time. The following day, everything is okay, and she tells me she had a good time. We go to a mutual friend's home with a pool and spend the day kissing and laughing. Everything that individuals do when they are young and in love. What Jamie didn't understand was that I had become extremely close friends with a family member of her family during the course of our relationship. Taylor is the name we'll give to this young lady. Taylor contacts me on my way home, informing me that I have to end my relationship with Jamie. When I inquire as to why, she reveals me that she had slept with a man I knew at the party. Let's name him Paul for now. A little more on Paul. He would also come to me physically weeping when he and his girlfriend were fighting or dealing with really severe issues. For example, when she infected him with an STD or when she had an abortion. I am not passing judgment, I am only reporting that he would discuss extremely important things with me. Taylor gives me Paul's phone number, and we hang up. I then dial Jamie's number while standing outside my home, my hands sweating in my chest so tense I can scarcely breathe. That is a peculiar sensation. I gently inform her that someone at the party told me she had intercourse with Paul and that I need to know whether it was real and that she has to tell me the truth. She, of course, denies it. So I repeat myself, adding, "Hey, I have Paul's number, you really shouldn't lie to me." She refuses once more. I hang up the phone and quickly call Paul, who answers. I ask him how he and his girlfriend are doing, trying to make small chat, and he tells me they're taking a break. So he didn't cheat, right? In the calmest manner I can conjure, I ask him whether he slept with Jamie at the party last night. Before he can finish his sentence, I respond, "Paul, I already know the answer. Please don't lie to me or I'll have to beat you up." I don't generally do this, but I was seething at this point. He tells me that they did indeed do the crime and that she had just texted him urging him to lie to me. I believe he heard how serious I was and didn't want anything to do with it. He begins making excuses about how he believed we had split up and such nonsense. I simply cut him off, thanked him for giving me the truth and told him not to attempt to talk to me again, or there would be consequences. I then phone Jamie back and go on the attack about it. I had some choice words for him that I never use and he hangs up the phone. I was in tears at this time and couldn't understand why she had done this to me. The following day at school, I decide I need to speak to her in person, so after school, we're sitting in my vehicle and I have the most stunned expression of disbelief on my face. She begins to weep, explaining that she was intoxicated and didn't intend to do anything. I foolishly return her. Things are definitely not going to work from here on out. I transformed, become a jealous person, and we fought all the time over things I used to care about. After approximately a month of practically being angry every other day, I decide to break up with her again. She's weeping uncontrollably, which makes me want to cry, but I don't. I just state that I need to know the truth about everything, and that I will not tolerate any more falsehoods. She is willing to tell me the truth. Again, I had grown envious at this point, so I began identifying the persons I suspected she had been with. She informed all of them about me. Isn't that great news? Wrong. She then goes on to tell me about 8 males she had kissed or with 8 different guys. Hearing that turned off a light in my brain. I actually lose interest in that individual right then and there. I started the vehicle quietly, went back to my school, and instructed her to get out and never talk to me again. Even now, over 10 years later, I'm still perplexed as to why she was with me. Just go hang out with these individuals. For years following that, I ruined relationships because I couldn't trust anybody. Even while it still perplexes me, it's an afterthought.